So let's look at how to edit a bash script. All right, so what is it? I'm already sharing my screen. So let me open my terminal. So let me give it a full screen. I'm opening my terminal at the moment. My terminal is opened. So, but before that, the script has been given to me. And where is the script? I'm going to look for where the script is, and then I will try and see if I can actually. Oh yes, I was supposed to send the scripts. Okay. Okay, I've not sent the script yet, but let me try and look for where the script is. So I'm thinking that it should be somewhere here. So here is the script. This what is the one we have here. That's the script over here. So I'm actually going to send it to. So let me come here, then attach it. I think it will come as a document. I will go to, where did I keep the things? It should be in my downloads, right? Let me check where. Yeah, it should be under my downloads. And this assembly. Okay. Let me see if I can find it should be under trying. Okay. I'm looking for where the folder is. It should be under. So let me send it quickly before I forget. ST Trimo. I'm looking for a folder called Trimo, a subfolder. I'm not finding it as quickly as possible. It should be okay. I've sent all these ones. Yeah, it's here. Yeah, so I just do this and try and see what if it will be attached. Then I'm sending to someone. So let's assume that it is gone. So that's the script that everybody is supposed to have. So I'm coming here to download it. You see that it has been downloaded. The script is here. It is downloaded. So I'm now going to go to my my desktop. Sorry, my Linux terminal, and then I need to navigate. Once I have downloaded the script, it will be inside my downloads. So I'm going to navigate to that place. So my CN is until dash my C, and then I have to go to my user, go to my own name, and then I'll go to downloads. Then I think it should be here. So now if I list here, there are too many things in my downloads. So let's assume that I am looking for trim, right? Trim. I'm looking for something like trim, but it was a file. So I'll just try and look for it. It should be under the T column. ST. Because I have a hand is here. You can see that the file is here. Trim.sh.save. Yeah, that's the file around here. So now I can simply clear the screen a little bit, and I'll say that I want to create a folder, and then I'll move it into that particular folder. So I want to create a new folder. I'm going to call it make there, and then I'll call that one double M Trimo, Trimoma. That's the new folder that I've created under this. And I want to move that file called trim into that folder. So I'll simply just say move And then I know that that file is found within here. So I'll simply specify the file which is called trim.s, and then use tab. It will complete it for me. And then why am I moving it? I'm moving it to the new folder I have created called Trimoma. So I'll call it Trimoma like this. So now if I change directory to that particular small folder called Trimoma, it will be there. Okay. If I change directory and I say I'm now going to remove something like this, it will be there. If I list, you will find that the script is now seated. It's not seated around here. So now let's assume that I want to edit that particular script. Okay. So what am I going to do? I will simply just say nano. Okay. And then I'll go straight and then look for the, and then I'll add nano space. No, sorry, trim something something. It should complete it. And you see that it opens the script up to this place. But now when it opens, you can see that there are some things here. Maybe you don't want this folder to be where you want to keep your trim reads. Maybe you want your trim reads, the folder to be called trimmed without the reads. So when you come, you simply just come to this place. You will go this way, come here, and then remove this and leave it. Now you come here again. Remember, you don't use any you don't use anything like let's say mouse here. You use keyboard throughout. So when you come here, you notice that the reads you have downloaded, the reads they are found in your, they are found somewhere, or the reads you have downloaded, they are called, they are not with this. So let me show you how the new reads. So this is your new reads. Let me go back here and then I'll show you something. So you see that what we are dealing with is the read was P774 something something, but the new reads you are having that you want to work with is actually M77, and then the read 2 is also M77R2, and for that matter. So you need to change the names here. So I will go back to my, if I come back here, then you notice that I have to edit that particular place here and then make it what? M. Then I'll come again, also edit that particular place and then also make it M. That's all that I need. If I did not keep the two reads in a subfolder called raw reads, then I'll remove this part. I'll remove this particular part, and then for that matter. So now when I also come here, I have to also make sure that I edit the same way. Let me emphasize, don't use mouse. Never use mouse. You get confused. Always use your keyboard, the up and down arrows. Then you also come to this place and make sure that you change it to what? M. You are editing to make sure that the names of the reads that you are having, you make sure that you come here and edit them accordingly. So now when I finished, yes, what I've done that, then I need to also go to this part. Again, remove the P because the new reads I am having, I don't have anything like P there, so I have more M. So I have finished also editing that one. Now let's assume that your threads, you are working with 8 threads, like the core of your computer. If there are 8, 10, 11, 13, whatsoever, depending. Let's say it is 8, so you go and put here 8. Now let's come to the last one. What I have here is paired N. But let's assume that the Trimomatic you installed, you didn't install it with Anaconda. You install it with binary. If you install it with the binary, you're not going to have it this way. It cannot start here with Trimomatic. It will rather start there with, it will be Trimomatic, but it will be .something.jar. I'm going to get that in a GP and show you how that is going to work before you bring the PE, and then the rest will continue that way. Remember, the threads you have here, the threads here are the threads over there. If you had spelled here thread without S, make sure that when you come here, you shouldn't add the S to it, but appropriately put the S there. And so you are good to go. Then when you come, you have the thread is $thread, and then in that order. You have read one. Here, if you didn't spell the read one this way, and you decided to just put R1. So when you come here, you put R1. If you put on top here, over the read 2, and you put it R2, when you come here, you should put R2. That's how it is. Now, these variables you have created, the names, here I didn't start with any of them with an uppercase. So, except here and then, so just come, copy it this way, and make sure that the variable that you created on top here, it should be the same variables here. The name should not have any kind of change. Now, you have finished your editing. Now, when you come, make sure that you don't have any space wherever space is not needed. Then when you come here, you can do whatever editing that you need to do around here. And when you finish, you do Control S, and then that's all. Control S, and that's all. Control X. I'm sorry, Control X. Now I have finished editing everything. Now let me show you the one that I'm talking about. So I'm going to come here, and then I will simply try and see what if I can get Tremomatic Tremo .github GitHub page, the GitHub page. Let me see if I can open it and show you where to get all these things from. Great. So now I'm trying to open the Tremomatic, their GitHub page. Now it is opening small. The internet is quite bad in my place here, so that's why it's quite slow. Okay, so we can see that we are on Tremomatic GitHub page. Now come here, you will see, but the internet is slow. You can see new releases. Then you click on the new releases and see, and wait a little bit. And it's going to lead us to where we will be able to also install Tremomatic if you don't have Anaconda on your computer. And that way we will know how to be able to specify the script. The script is still incomplete at the moment. I want to show you, if not, some of us, when we happen to want to write the script. Okay, so we have our Tremomatic, which is being open right now. And so we can see we have one here. So if I had installed this one, we are going to have something like there's another one here, but I think this should be the latest. So I could just click on this one like this, and then in this case I could have just copied the link, and then I'll go and use bash to be able to install it. You see, and then but let me try and open it and see whether I can have the extension as to how to specify it. It's rather a zip file which is being downloaded. And so what I wanted to specify here is, let me get back to this place. I was thinking that I could get but let me get to this place and I'll show you how that is going to work. So I'm going to come here. So over here, it would have been Tremomatic.jar before you can specify the paired end, and then you finished. That is if you had installed the Tremomatic with a binary. There are other ways to be able to know how to be able to specify it around here. If you had installed with the binary, and then you try to do a version of it, you will see the actual name, and then so you just do Tremomatic space -- version. It will give you the actual name that you are supposed to put around here. So you come and edit the whole of this and put that particular name there, and then you are good to go. But if you had installed your Tremomatic with Anaconda, this is how to be able to do it. So let me remove this. Here, there's nothing there. You just say to Momatic, you have your PE in that order, then you add the rest of this, and then now you have finished editing everything, and that's all. So the point I was making is, when you come this first part, you don't edit anything there, nothing. Now you make your, what is it, your directory, and the directory here, you call it trimmed. So when you come here, that's another thing. Whatever name that you kept it here, now you are saying that this is that's the folder where all the trimmed reads should be kept. So when you come here, you have to also make sure that you remove the reads and leave only the trimmed. Okay, I think I was going to forget it like that. So I'm going to come here like that. And then I'll come down here again and also remove, because the directory you created, there's nothing like trim underscore reads. So I'm editing it. And that's all. So now I have changed everything to suit the way I want it. So the initial script that I was having here, it was called trim underscore reads. No, I created mine and I call it trimmed. So I removed the trim underscore reads. Then when I came here, my read one, it was raw reads / because it means that I created a subfolder and I kept all the reads in them and the subfolder name is raw reads. That's where I have to precede the declaration of the variable by the raw reads, followed by the actual name of the read. The first one was P77. Here it is M77 underscore R1 dot fastq dot gz. So I decided to change the P. I noticed that it's only the P and the M, which is the difference. So I decided to change the P to the M because mine is M and that one was. So I came to this one too and also did the same changes. Now when I came here, I don't want the output file name to change. But if you wanted it, you change it. But when you also come here, you also change it accordingly. So I didn't want the output files or files to be the variables that we created. Everything before the equal sign is called a variable. So if I want to maintain them, I just leave them like this. But when I came here, it has to take the name of the folder that I created, where I want to keep all the trimmed reads. And that's the name of the folder. So I came here and I changed the name as well, trimmed. Then I have to also change it here, trimmed. Then I change it here, trimmed. Then I also change it here, trimmed. And then I have finished. Now, when I came here, the rest of the things, the only thing I need to change is M here and then M there. Because this one, the name here is practically the same over there, M7741 underscore R1. So M7741 underscore R1. Now the dot trimmed dot paired, I don't have to change anything there. I just leave it that way. Underscore R1 dot fastq something Z. Because it's the same thing here, underscore R1 fastq dot gz. So because of that, that is why I am not changing the fastq dot gz, because it also ends with fastq dot qz. And that's all. So here, the paired, you introduce it. And that one, you can't change it. Here too, you introduce the unpaired. Then you also leave it that way. You come to this place the same, come to that place the same. This is how you are able to edit your script. And then you are good to go. When you finish everything, the script is finished. Then all you can now do is come and do Control X. So I'm going to do my Control X. And then I'm going to do, the next thing I'm going to do is Y. Go and press on Y. Then it will ask you whether you want to change the name or you want to maintain the name as it is. I want to maintain the name just like the way it is. So if I want to do that, I'll go and click Enter. I'll go and tap on my Enter key on my keyboard. These slashes you see here, before I enter the key, the slashes you are seeing here, all those slashes, it means that new line. And you can see those one, you don't change anything before what is it. So I'm now going to do my Enter like this. and then I'm finished. I finished editing it. So it is now inside the new one that I have edited is now inside here. It is found inside this particular new directory that I have created. And then in that case, this particular new directory, if I had downloaded my READs, I need to also move the READs into this particular directory. Okay. So supposing I have downloaded my READs and the READs are found around here, I need to also move the READs into this particular directory called Tremoma. So what I'm going to do is, let's go and see on my desktop. On my downloads, I have all the READs which are here. M77, that's a new one, and then M77 something something. So I want to move them to a new directory I've created, which is called Tremoma. Okay. So now let me go back to my terminal and show you. So let's assume that I'm going back one step here, and I'm going to come here and then list and see whether I will find the READs here. If they are not there, they will be under assembly. In any case, I can just try typing it, and if it is there, then it will just show up. Yeah. So it means that I want to move. So it will be under assembly. So let me change the directory to assembly. But remember that inside the downloads, that's where you have the directory that contains that you want to move your READs into. So it's also simple like that. So I move out of that particular directory. Now let me see what I can do. So let me see if I have okay, so let me say ls assembly like this and see. So the READs are there. Let me see what are the M something something. Okay, they are there. The M4 something is here. That's for the read 2. And why the read 1 for the M4? Yeah, it's also here. The read 1 for the M4 is here. So which means they are found under a subdirectory called assembly. So, and I want to move them to another subdirectory. So both assembly and then the Tremoma are all found within downloads. I've created the two subdirectories under downloads. So what I'll do is I'll simply come here like this and I'll say move MV, or let me just say copy so that a copy can remain. So what am I copying? I am copying a file, and the file is found under assembly. So I'll do like this. What the name of that file? Start with capital M. So start with capital M and do tap. It will complete it. You see that? Then you come and tap 1. That's for the first one. And do tap. It will go again. And then again, you have to start with the assembly again, like this. And then I'll do tap again. And then another M something. So this time around is the read 2. And then dots. Do tap. It will complete it. Why am I moving it? I'm moving it to a folder called Tremoma. To a subfolder called Tremoma. So Tremo something. So do tap, it will complete it. So now when I do like this, we have copied it into that particular place. Now if I now change a directory into something we call Tremoma, like this, and then you see that I'm now in the Tremoma directory. You see that if I list, now the file is now saved here. That's the file for trimming, the one you have edited, is now found within that particular one. And then the READs you want to trim are also here. Read 1 is here. And then read 2 is also here. And then you are good to go. Now everything is ready. Now let me do again. Now, if I list like this, everything is there. So this is the READs the new READs that I want to trim. That's read 1 and that's read 2. And then I also have my the scripts that I want to use to trim them. which is also found. All of them are now found in the same working directory. So, and that's the directory here. So the next thing is for you to now go ahead and do the trimming. All you need to do is to now write here bash, and then you say trim something something, use your tab, it will complete it, and then run it. It will do the trimming for you. And then the trim reads will be saved here. It will be saved on this particular folder called Trimoma. And this Trimoma is found under downloads. Now, when everything has finished trimming and you want to see it, now you can now go back to your local computer like this, and then you go to your downloads, and then you go and look for Trimoma. Trimoma, you can see it is here. If I come here, you can see that the first read is here, the second read is here, the script to do the trimming is also here, and that's it. Now, if we had done the trimming, you will see that all the trim reads will also be sitting down here, and then you can now open any of them, and then you can have a look at it. This is how it is. It's very simple to be able to. The other way around that I would have wished that all of you now follow this video step by step. The other way around, if you are not okay, yesterday I showed you how to be able to download the reads into this. So it means that I moved the reads to here because I've already downloaded them. But if I had not, and I had created this particular folder, and then I downloaded this one, like I sent it to you people, like I sent it out, then when you download it, then you move it into this particular directory, the Trimoma. That's where you're going to do your trimming. All your trimming information will be on this. The next thing is to download your reads into it. How do you download it? I've already shown how to be able to get to where the reads are kept. Okay, so what you do next is to simply say wget, and then you add the link. Then you add the link to the reads. Add the link to the reads and then run it. It will download it straight into this particular place with the name, and that's how it is. It's just very simple like that. So this is how you are able to edit your script, and then you are able to run it. If there's any question, please, you can let me know, and then I will try and then answer it. I don't have enough data here. I could have done the trimming for you to see, but I think that I've done the trimming already, and you also how it works. So this is how we're able to do it. Now, let's assume that I also want to check their quality. You know how to be able to do it. So if you wanted to work everything on this particular folder, you could go ahead and also say, just write your FASTQ. Make sure that you have your FASTQ-C installed. So you have your FASTQ-C. Then you just add the names of the reads. That's all. Read 1, you just have your M something. Then this, and then it will complete it. And then your read 2, I will have my M, and then use the tab. It's always good to use the tab. It will complete it for you. Then run it. It will simply check the quality, and then it will give you HTML file, and then for both read 1 and then read 2. Then you can now visualize it using your Opera Mini browser or whatsoever, and then that's how it is. Now, if you also wanted to do assembly, in this case, you can assemble the two genomes. The read 1 is called a genome, read 2 is called a genome. If you want to assemble the two of them, you could have also created a new subfolder, move them or copy the reads into that particular folder, and then just do the assembly or do all the assembly thing that you want to do on that folder alone. But if you know you are not going to get confused, you can do everything here. And it's very, very simple. In that case, this is what you would have done. First of all, you need to make sure that you download your adapter. You download your adapter, and then you make sure you add the adapter to this place. So supposing you were going to just make sure that you are doing everything here. But let's assume that you wanted to do the assembly separately from in a different folder from the folder that you are. So what do? We will create a new folder. So let's move out of this folder. So like this. Then we'll move out of this folder and then create a new folder. So we'll create a new folder called assembly. So I'm going to say assembly. Yeah, I've already got the assembly. So let me just say mapping. I've already got the mapping. So this time around, I'm going to spell it like a different way. So I'll just say make directory and I'll call map. It's practically like mapping. So I've created that particular directory. But I want to, again, copy the reads into that particular mapping, which is the same thing as assembly, and then download my adapter into that same folder before I can go ahead and do the assembly. Remember, when you are doing assembly, you require an adapter because the sequencing platform would have used a particular adapter to be able to bind the fragmented DNA. So what we are going to do here right now is I want to show you how to be able to do that. So the reads are found within a subfolder called assembly. I have created a folder called map. So I'm going to change directory to that folder called map like this. So that folder is also there. So I can either now download the reads into it, or I can download the adapters into it, and then that's also very simple. You see? But if I have already downloaded them and they are packed somewhere, I only just need to copy them or move them to this particular folder. So in that case, let me just move out of this folder and come back here. And I know that I have my adapters and then my reads already downloaded and they are found in a particular folder called assembly. So all I can simply say is I'll just copy them. So I'll just say CP. And then in that case, CP, what am I copying? I am copying from a small folder. So I'll use assembly. And what am I copying? I am copying a read. And that read is called M7. And then that's the read one. And then what you do is to complete it. And again, there's another read. So you have to specify this again. There's another short way of doing it. Okay. Now, I hope I'm not confuse anybody. Instead of, because if I do like this, if I do M like this, and I add 1, so you see that from here going is the same. So I'm just going to copy this like this. Supposing you were copying too many things, this is what we normally do. And so I'm going to come here. And then I'll simply put a star like this. And then whatever that I copied, I put it there. Dot. This star means that copy everything that from the right hand side of it should go to the folder, this folder called assembly, and anything that ends with .fastq.gz, copy it. And where am I copying it to? I'm copying it to a folder called map. And then that's all. When I do that, it has copied the two of them. Now, if I list this folder called map like this, you see that the two of them have been copied, which are here. And that's all. There's an adapter. So let me list the assembly, and then you see something. So if I list the assembly, you will see that there's an adapter there. Is something true. Let me see what I can find the adapter. Okay, the adapter is found in a subfolder called Trimo. Okay, yeah, this was why I kept it. And then so what I'm going to do is I am going to say that copy again, and then Trimo. No, I'm copying from this particular. Oh, am I not found? Okay, it is found under assembly. So I needed to do assembly first. And then there's a subfolder they call Trimo. And under that particular Trimo, there is an adapter there, which name starts with T. You see that it finishes it. So here I am copying the adapter, this particular adapter. Okay. And then that's not the only thing I am copying. Now I am copying this particular file. This file is found under this folder, and this folder is found under this folder. And so that's what I'm copying. What's the next thing I want to copy? I want to copy the reference file or the reference genome. The reference genome is AG something something. So let's just do AGY. Okay, it's not agreeing for me to copy it that way. Okay, the AGY is found under assembly, not under Trimo. So that way I have to do assembly again like this, and then I'll now say AGY, and then it will complete it. So I am copying two files. I'm copying this file here, and then I'm also copying another file here. So, but you need to know the absolute path to where the file is. And where am I copying them to? I'm copying the two of them into a new folder I have created called map. So you just do map, it will finish it. So now, when you now come and list map like this, you see that you now have your reference file, which is there, or your reference genome. You have your read 1 here, then you have your read 2 over there, and then you have your adapter, which is here. So now you are also now ready to do whatever, to do your trimming or whatsoever. I think that was adapters are always needed during trimming, not mapping. I think I made a mistake here. For when it comes to the mapping, you need the reference file, then the reads. That's all. But when it comes to like trimming, that's where you need the adapter. So this one should have been part of the trimming. The trimming file, which I spoke about quite earlier. Yeah. So this one there, we don't need it. So what we can do is we can simply remove this. We can remove this. So to remove it, you just say M, remove this, and then what am I removing? I'm removing a particular file which is found under map, and what the name of that file is T, and then like this. When you run it, now we have removed it from that place. So now if I should say ls and then map, you won't find it any longer. You see that we have removed it. It's no longer there. So now we are left with our reference genome, our read 1, our read 2. So we are good to do our assembly. What is the first thing to do in our assembly is to index the reference file or the reference genome, which is here AG9YY. Index it. And because you want to index it, it's important to keep it in a separate folder. That's what I was saying. At this point, we are doing mapping. So what I want to do now, I want to change directory to map like this. Okay. And then I'll create a subdirectory there called index. So I'll simply say make a directory here, and then that directory will be called index. So I'm going to call it this way. And then that particular directory is now found within map. So what I'm going to do is I want to move, I will simply move the I'm moving this particular file to the subfolder called index, IDX, like this. And then that's all. That particular small folder is now having only the AG99. The rest is now left with only the reads. So we cannot go ahead and index the reference file or the reference genome before we can go ahead and then do our assembly. So first of all, we have to do the indexing. And then what are we going to use? We are going to use a tool. That tool is called barrow wheel alignment. And then we use the word index. Okay. And then we go to IDX. What are we indexing? We are indexing a particular, so when you do your tab, it will even come there. So you have your AG. So we want to index this particular reference genome first. And when we index it, the index information will be found in this subfolder called IDX. And then we finish before we now go ahead and then do the assembly. Now, after we have finished the indexing, the next thing is to come and then do assembly. And then after the assembly, what do? We have to make sure that we convert it. When we are assembling, we assemble it as a SAM, the output will be a SAM file. Then we convert from the SAM file into a BAM file. And after that, we now sort the BAM file. I think I've given all the scripts and whatsoever that is out there. And then that's all. We have completed our assembly. And then, or we have completed our reference mapping. And so that's how it is. Here, we are not doing de novo assembly. I could have used space to be able to do that. But that will be a different tutorial on another day. Thank you. If you still have any issue that you're not conversant with or you're not clear with, please let me know. The video is rather long, but concentrate on the first part and then just know how to. I think the problem is how to be able to move around, create these small folders and so on whatsoever. Just take your time and follow the video, and wherever I make a mistake, pause and think through before you can continue. Thank you. The focus was for you to know how to edit the the script. And remember, the script is used in trimming. In trimming, what are the things that you require? You require your reeds, either reed 1 or reed 2, if they are paired end. Then you require an adapter. You need to download the adapter. I've already told you how to be able to download an adapter. I don't know if it is on this. So, but when you come here, you click on Tribomatic, you will see adapters there. You copy the link, come and use wget, and you can see adapters here. You see, there are quite a number of them. Then you just open it, select the specific adapter that you want, and then you download it, add it to wherever you're going to do the trimming. Then you make sure that you use the script to do the trimming. After the trimming, the next thing to do is to assembly. But remember that before trimming, you would have done your quality checks, which is the easiest. That one you use FastQ. I've already spoken about it. Then after quality checks, then you do trimming. After trimming, you do assembly. Quality checks, what are the things you require? You only require the function called FastQC. If it's installed, you just type FastQC, then add your read 1, add your read 2. It will just do the quality checks for you. And then it will save it as trimmed and then HTML file. Is the HTML file that you want. That's what you can use to get your report. Now, you've checked your quality, you need to trim, and you want to use Tribomatic. Then you come to trimming. Create a new folder, move all the reeds into that folder, download your adapter, and add it to that folder. Okay? So that folder will have the reeds that you are going to trim, plus the adapter. So 3 things will be found in that folder. Now, you go ahead and then also add the 4th thing into that folder, which is called the script. I have already sent the script to everybody. Now, so 4 things will be found in that folder. Read 1, read 2, adapters, and then the script. Now, the script, you should make sure that you should edit it to reflect the way the reads names are. Now, after that, you call the script, and then to do the trimming for you in that folder. Now, when you finished, you left with assembly. In the assembly, what are the things you need? Create a new folder again, move the read 1 and the same read 2 into that folder. Then go and download a reference genome. The reference genome is in. I don't know whether I should go to download or how to find the reference. So you download your genome and mapping. What's the thing to do? The first thing is to make sure you create a subfolder under that folder called index. Then move the reference genome into that folder. Then go ahead and index that particular folder. Index that particular genome, which is found in that small folder. Then when you finished, what the next thing? The next thing is for you to do the mapping. So that's where you use BWA, that's the barrel wheel alignment, dash mem, dash T, then you indicate the number of cores, maybe 4, 8. Then you go ahead and then now begin with the output file, and then the script is already with you. You just follow it. And then you have done your output is going to be a SAM file. You have done your mapping, your output is a SAM file. SAM files are very heavy. convert the SAM file into BAM file using SAM tools. So the function is SAM tools, then you have something like -b, and then for that matter, you are converting from the output into a BAM file. Now, when you finish, you can decide to compare either BAM, you can compare the BAM file to the SAM file using GU. It's just a count. You just count the characters or the size. So you do that. After that, what are you supposed to do next? You are supposed to make sure that the BAM file you have now, you should sort it out, rearrange it. And after you have sorted it out, that's basically all that you need to do. If you want, you can also index the sorted one again, and then you have completed your assembly. That's all that you need to do. Thank you.